If you look in my life and see what I've seen. La da 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 da. If you look in my life and see what I sing. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are listening from. Let me say, did you miss me? Anybody knows 90s babies, you know where I got that from. Did you miss me? I hope you did. So let me catch you up on some things. October 6th, I celebrated my 39th birthday. And I am so blessed to see 39. As the gospel song says, a millions didn't make it, but I was one of the ones who did. A millions didn't make it, but I was one of the ones who did. So today's episode is titled, If You Look Into My Life. That is from my all-time favorite song, My Life by Mary J. Blige, which is one of her best albums in the world. And I can totally relate to that song. So what are we talking about? We're still in the recovery room, people. My life has not been a crystal stair. It has not. It has its bumps, its splinters, everything. But I am at the cusp of a rebirth. My goal for my 40th is to leave 30 plus years of bullshit, trauma, soul ties, bitterness, all that shit in the 30s. All of it. Because when you think about birthdays, you celebrate a birthday. But when you celebrate that birthday, have you learned any lessons? Did you come out better, or are you just celebrating to celebrate? And what I have realized is that, each year I went through some things, but I didn't learn anything. And my 38th and my 39th birthday was like a transitional period for me. And when I turned 39, that's when I started the recovery process. I had to deal with myself. I never dealt with myself. I always used to say if I had to literally deal with myself, I would lose my mind because I was a fucked up individual. A bad bitch, and not in a good sense. But what I've came to realize, what I've came to know, is that all of that was for a purpose. This is my belief for everyone. You are on this earth for a purpose. May not seem like it now. Things are dark, things are hazy. You think you're going to be stuck in this situation or this moment in time. My belief is you're here for a purpose. And when your purpose is done on this earth, you go to the next level. It's the final chapter. And I always say that if we knew our ending or when we're going to pass, we would live our lives in fear every day. That's why God don't let us know. Because if you knew that you're going to pass on this day, You'll live in fear every day and you let life pass you by. So, let me tell you what I did for my birthday. And then we're going to hop into it. So, last weekend, my high school celebrated its 20th reunion. My class celebrated its 20th reunion. I graduated in class of the year 2003. I graduated in 2003 at Whitehaven High School. And for those who don't know what Whitehaven High School, it's one of the most predominantly all black high schools. They bring in bukus, almost millions in scholarships. And let me tell you, the other side of Whitehaven, known as bougie, known as super bougie, known as stuck up. I entered Whitehaven High School in the year of our Lord, 1999, graduating from Jeter Middle. I remember the day I graduated from Jeter, one of my good friends said, Tiff, when you go to Whitehaven, don't change. Don't switch up on me. And I'm like, I'm not finna switch up on you. Nah, I'm gonna still be the same Tiffany from Lakeview, from Jeter, and even in Whitehaven. But when I got there, it was the Black Clueless. Y'all seen Clueless, the movie. When I say they had labels galore, Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Coach, Tommy Hilfiger, Christian Dior. Like, I'm seeing people with Coach belts and backpacks, and I'm for me, labels was FUBU, Baby Fat, and that's it. Maybe a little Carl Kanai, but that's before y'all time. That was labels for me. So when I got there, I was uncomfortable. I had bad relationships. I had bad relationships, sought relationships because I dealt with low self-esteem. I dealt with low self-esteem at Lakeview. I was called Four Eyes, a geek. I had this girl that bullied me. And I'm not going to say her name. Y'all know me. I'm quick to name drop. But I'm going to protect her because she's actually doing pretty good in life. And I don't want to spill her tea. But she literally tortured me. She made me feel like jack shit. She tortured me then in high school. And I'm thinking like, sis, what is your gist? Nah, I ain't gonna call her sis. Bitch, what is your gist? What is your problem with me? Did I fuck your dude, or what did I do? But then I realized with my unpacking that she was jealous of me because I had talent. She didn't. That's the truth. I had talent. I could sing. I could act. I could write. I could speak. She didn't. She didn't possess those things. And also, I was looking for love in all the wrong places. 3 failed relationships in high school. Started with my first ex. Not gonna say his name. Fucked up situation. Left that ex. Next ex. I'm gonna say it, fuck it. Next ex. Verbal abuse. A little bit of domestic abuse. A little bit of it. I'll never forget. This one day we had a whole fight. And he choked me. And I had to pretend with everybody that we had a perfect relationship, because at that time he made me whole. He was I thought he was different. Now, granted, B, is me and this ex cool? Yes, we are. We said he apologized to me. Um and we got towards our healing. But those were some of the things that I've dealt with. And of course, I met my ex-husband in high school. We know how that story goes. Um but where I found solace, where I found my comfort zone, where I found myself was in JROTC. That was my family. They were like Lakeview and Jeter combined. In fact, some of my Lakeview homies was in JROTC, so it was home. We was a gang, a mafia. You come for one of us, we coming for you. But as families do, we had bickering, we had some arguments, we had a lot of things. But if it wasn't for Whitehaven JROTC, I would not have made it those 4 years. And I have realized that bullying is still prominent, and bullying still carries a scar. People are still suffering from bullying. And the inspiration, it was 2 people that gave me inspiration to do this episode. My girl Tarvasha, aka Star, and my girl A. Nicole gave me inspiration. They did a Facebook post. And I realized that I wasn't going through this alone. That people are still dealing with this. Picking on people, having cliques. So fast forward to this weekend. First, my plan was, when I first found out that we was having a reunion, my first thought was, I'm not going. Fuck this shit. I'll get a shirt. That's it. I might go to the homecoming game, but the homecoming game was on my birthday and I went somewhere else and it was awesome. And I went to the balloon releasing. We took pictures. When I got to the balloon release, I stood there and I made a declaration. I said, 15-year-old Tiffany, girl, it's time for you to bounce. You carried so much weight all these years. It's time for you to go. And I released her. I set her free. And this is the thing. You can carry stages of yourself into your present. What I've learned in therapy in my past is sometimes when you get angry or you get sad, you tend to act like when you first got hurt, whether when you was a child or a teenager, you lash out. My thing is that whenever I got angry, I broke shit like a child, because that's where it started. So I got there. I saw 2 friends. I saw a couple of more friends. And I saw some folks that I really didn't fuck with. That didn't fuck with me. And I said, I embraced the people who I embraced. Because I can't make you press fast forward on your healing. I can't make you get that confession out. And here's one thing you have to learn. If you waiting on that particular person that has wronged you to forgive, to say, these are my confessions. If you waiting on that, you're going to be waiting forever. And it's going to have you frozen. It's going to have you stuck in this place. That's why You have to forgive. And if you have not listened, my previous episode on forgiveness, that's the truth. What's up? What's up? What's up? Had to divide this for a moment. Back to part 2. What I said, where I left off at is, if you are waiting on that person to give you a confession, you'll be waiting forever. Because that person can realize is that they didn't do anything wrong. They're like, what did I do to you? So fast forward. I get there. I see some people. Some embraced me. I embraced them. Some looked at me crazy. And there was one girl I walked up to, and she didn't even know me. And I'm like, oh, wow. She looked familiar, but I didn't know you. Okay, bitch, I got you. Not to sound mean, but that's the truth. But what I have realized is that those people have not matured. You had the folks in the front and they click. You had the folks here, you had the folks there, and I'm like, we still on this bullshit. We lost a couple of class members. We lost 3 class members a month apart. And I'm coming in with the mindset of, okay, we all gonna, put the bullshit aside because life is short. People are leaving here every day, but folks were still on the same shit. And I have figured out that, people don't change. They don't. And there are some people in your life that's still going to have that immature mindset. So let's break down my life. We already discussed the teen years. And oh yeah, let me get this off my chest too. I thought they did something I thought was so fucked up and wrong that they should not have. The whole superlatives thing, because that reinforced the trauma. Why can't we just all get together and celebrate each other? Why can't we all just get together and celebrate life? Why can't we all just get together and reminisce and heal? They had all these catty ass categories, and I'm like, come on now. Come on. Why? We see these folks sometime every day on Facebook or whatever. We know what they doing. Why do they need an award for that? And don't take it as me hating, like I'm nah, but that reinforce a trauma. Why can't we just all get together and celebrate life? Why can't we just all get together and heal? Why can't we all just get along? And I see these particular folks is still in those childish ways, so we didn't cover that. But what I learned from my class reunion is those memories, those people gave me my voice to speak up. As I said before in my previous episodes, this here is our platform. This podcast is for the black sheep, the outsiders, the underdogs, the people that has been left out, the people that have been afraid to speak out. This is what Unapologetically Tee is for. So unpacking my life, talked about teen years. Let's go to the 20s. By this time, I'm married. I'm not going to go over all this stuff. But in my 20s, I carried all the bullshit from my teen years. I did not grow up. I was a poser. I was a fake. I was an adulterer. I was a liar. I was a cheat. I was everything up under the sun. A narcissist. A true narcissist that never took accountability for anything. I thought I was big, bad, and bold enough to do whatever I needed to do. But still, I was hurt. I was a hurt person. And I hurt people in their lives. I didn't address it. I didn't think nothing was wrong with me at all. I regret not being there for my daughter the first couple of years of her life because I was not mature enough. I didn't dealt with my trauma. I was too busy partying with friends and everything else and being a terrible mom. But one thing I can sit up there and hang up my hat on is that I was able to rectify it before things got worse. And ever since then, my goal has been to be a very good mother. I have my flaws. I make mistakes, but I try my best to be there for my daughter no matter what, good, bad, or ugly, because I didn't get that. So in my 20s, I was a motherfucker with myself and I was not mature at all. In my 20s, I was reckless. I did everything I was big and bad and bold enough to do. Going to my 30s, I was able to hide it a little bit more. I was able to mask it a little bit more, like everything was okay, like everything was hunky-dory, like I had life all together and figured out, when deep inside, not even my closest friends didn't know I was fucked up. I was fucked up. I didn't know where I wanted to go in life. I had no sense of direction. I thought that I would be in a marriage for years, and I took upon the persona of a wife. I took upon the persona of a mother. I gave up my identity when I was 30. I gave up the true essence of Tiffany when I was 30. I hid behind the makeup. I hid behind the laughs. I hid behind Jack Daniels. I hid behind a lot. And why I'm coming to you with no makeup, just my glasses, because I'm authentically myself. I became Mrs. Harris full time, and I lowered my standards. I lowered a lot of things. I lowered my dignity just to make sure he was comfortable. I did things that I was ashamed. And I tried to keep up this persona of being locked in this cage of us being, we survived almost a decade, and we were high school sweethearts, and it was a fairy tale, high school sweethearts, both of us go off to the military, then he comes back, we get married, we have a baby, we living in Cordova, I'm driving this car, we going out, and I was not me in my 30s. I truly can say I lost my identity in my 30s. And usually in your 30s, that's when, you're kind of coming out at 20 stage because your brain is fully developed. And for me, that was not the case. I hid. Times I can look at pictures right now that I took where I'm smiling and I'm giggling, but deep inside, I was dying. Inside, I was losing my identity, dealing with a lot of things that I didn't want to deal with until that pivotal moment around, I would say, 35, when I started to realize I was a fucked up individual. And I started taking accountability. And I expect the person that I said I do to support me. And he checked out. So, where I'm at right now, I'm rebirthing myself. Rebirth. Meaning, I am back to finding my own identity. I'm back going to the Tiffany that I knew, that was confident, that had ambition and dreams that could shake the world. I'm trying to get back to her. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Get back to yourself. You may have to turn the world off for a minute. You may have to turn some people away. But this is a process of healing that you have to do. You may have to give up some old habits. Here's a transparent moment. I am in the process of trying to give up drinking. Yes, I have a problem. Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I'm an alcoholic. So last night, I was laying in the bed, and while I was in my kind of tipsy stage, I prayed to God to deliver me from alcohol. I'm what you call a binge drinker. I started drinking when I was 19 years old at the Bayou Classic, a senior in high school. I'm the type of person, if I see a bottle, I gotta complete it. I did go to AA meetings at one point in time secretly, and I stopped. But they did give me the blue book. So while I was laying in bed praying to God, God's foreshown me to get the blue book. So I went in my closet, got a couple of books, found the blue book, but I found something else. Because not only I was asking God for deliverance from my alcohol, I was asking God for healing from my mom. And I if you listen to my previous episodes, me and my mom didn't have the best relationship. So I came across this journal about how to deal with difficult times. Saw a couple of pictures in the back, me when I was 5 years old, my brother, my mom and dad. And when I looked into the journal, because I was about to write, I saw my mother's handwriting. And some of the things she wrote gave me clarity. It made me hate her less. It made me hate her less. Because I always felt like she didn't love me. Not like she loved my other siblings. And that's why I push so hard to be a good mother right now. because I don't want my daughter to go through the same things I went through. But when I looked in that journal, one of the things that she said was, one of the things is that she said, that she got low self-esteem after she had her two youngest children, which so happened to be me and my sister. And when I said I wept, I wept. She was going through the same things I was going through. And it made me hate her less, but understand her more. And last night I got closure. The thing, and listen, this is what I learned, people. The thing that you have been praying for, asking God for, or whomever that you believe in, it could be right in your space and you didn't know it, but you had to go through the process of digging to find it. Let me say that again. The thing that you're trying to heal and recover from, you have to go through the digging process to find it. And when you do find it and uncover it, that's when you are healed. When I woke up this morning, I woke up different. And I was trying to wonder why I woke up different. I woke up different because this part of my heart finally got closure. And I thank God for that. Because I was wondering so many years why my mom treated me the way she treated me. She was hurt. She didn't know how to love me because she was hurt. And I said my mom didn't die of cancer. She died of a broken heart. Because she never healed. And I feel like that's my purpose right now. Is to heal. Because she never healed. I feel like that's my purpose now. It's healing. Healing my heart. Because she died broken. She died of a broken heart. And I think one thing that I did lie to my mom before she passed. I told her I'll be good, but I wasn't. I wasn't going to be. But that made me understand her so much more. It made me like, wow. So the thing that you have to, that you've been asking for, you got to dig, baby. You got to dig. You got to dig deep within yourself. Yeah, it's hard. It's going to be dark. Yeah, it's going to be fucked up in the process. But baby, you got to dig. Dig until you find it and uncover it and address it. And most of all, let it go. That's why I left that 15-year-old girl at the steps of Whitehaven. Because I had to let her go. I had to dig. Dig for your healing. It's hard work to get to healing. But don't stop in the process, baby. Don't stop in the process because it's hard. I've had sleepless nights. I've laid on my face crying for hours and hours. But the thing that you have been searching for, the thing that you have held, that has held you captive, you got to dig for it and find it. Address it. Dig deep. It hurts. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to hurt. Because if you walk around and don't address it, you don't grow. So if I could say to y'all, dig, baby, dig. Dig deep. Keep digging until you find it. Whether it's going to therapy, whether it's writing out, whether it's praying, whether it's getting an inner circle, whether it's shutting off from the world, dig, baby, dig. Until you find it. If it wasn't for me going through my stuff and finding it, it was here in my apartment the whole time. But I had to get up and make the first move, and that's what you have to do. You have to make the first move. You just can't give everything over to God and be like, all right, you handle it. You handle it. Faith without works is dead, so baby, dig. Dig deep. I'm here to help you. I'm here. We going through this together. So as I bring this to a close, life is hard. No one said life is going to be easy, but it's what you make of it. Somebody out there can find inspiration through your story. And it's not an overnight process. I'm still healing. I'm still dealing with 30 years plus of things. But when you come out on the other side, there is another side. There is a rainbow. There's a clear patch in the sky. You're going to be so much better. So, baby, dig. Baby, dig. I love all of you. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for supporting this podcast for 2 strong years. All of my peoples across the world, I love you. I see you. And as I always say, you have the right to tell your story. Don't give anyone the right to tell it for you. Peace and blessings.